always start the day with the back end being finished off. It's just the same as the other side, so I didn't film it. You can see it needs a few touch-ups here and there, but that's nothing with this paint. I do notice though that where I used the denatured alcohol to clean the brass before I painted it, it seems to have adhered a lot better. The only time it pulls the paint off, the only time it gets awkward is when I get my big fingers in the way and I've got glue on them, so it's stuck to my finger and it pulls it off. But the rest of the time it's not too bad. It's stuck on nicely. Right, on to the next stage. More to show at the moment. I've been shaping these pieces of wood. You've got 5x5, then a 2x2, then a 4x4. All have to be shaped, then cut to size. And I'm going to put a little bit of filler on these corners where they don't quite meet. You also have to do some bending, obviously, to make them fit. And then they're going to be painted to match this, which gives me the chance to top up all these little bits where the paint has come off and finish off these bits where I started tarting it up. Okay, so that's going to be my next job. The next bit after that is to put some decoration under these corners, which I think is metal. I'll have to dig it out and find it. Okay, then my next job then is going to be touching up the decoration. And we'll see how we get on after that. Okay, see you in a few seconds. Well folks, good morning again. As you can see, I've got all the back end trim fitted. I didn't film this because it's basically that's a 5x5, a 2x2 and a 3x3, all scraped using our scraping tools and then soaked in warm water and bent on the iron to drop into the shape around here, corners filled in. And the last few bits on this side decoration are these corner bits. Now I can see from this that I'm going to have to nick a little bit out of there. Just nick that little bit out. This would be interesting. I already know I've got to touch up some of the black paint on each side, so let me just nick this. It doesn't need very much taken out. I think just a little bit of the white on this side. Just so it lies flat against the base, and get that to the back of the ship. Yeah, that's about it. Once that's lying down, that'll be okay. Okay, the next part of the construction is to build the I suppose you could call it an arch or whatever, but it's basically the back end of the ship. So I think it's approaching the time for me to put a new blade in this knife. See how that is. There we go, it lies flat against the frame. Then we'll touch up the white afterwards. Okay, let's I have to take a trip to the motor shop this afternoon, get some more glue. Now, in you go. That's one. Let's turn the ship around and look at the other side. Onto the port side, and we'll do exactly the same again. So it looks like I have to take a little bit of trim again. Just put a mark on it so I know where it is. What makes you think I'm right-handed when you see how I do the port side compared to the starboard? I'm going to take my hand away from in front of the blade. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? It's going to go in there like that. All right. That's it, stuck to my hands already. Yeah, it should be okay. So I'll be doing the touch-ups on these colours later. Some white and black down here. So the next bit is on the bench, so I'll see you over there. So the next part needs what I call the arch. These two pieces here. These form the centre of the arch, and then around the outside and the inside it is lined, so that the arch forms the centre of like an I-frame, I suppose you would call it. So this could be a few days work to do this. Make sure it's cut out properly. Seems to leak. Why is it not coming loose? There we go. So there's one. Take it out of the way. So I shall get my non-stick plastic out. You could use cling film, or if you've seen that wrapping material you get like for presents that's clear, comes in a roll. I've used that in the past when I'm aeromodeling to to separate my plans from the wood when you're sticking it, so the wood doesn't stick to the plan. In this case we don't have a plan, but I don't want it getting stuck to my cutting surface or anything else for that matter, because I've then got to try and free it. And the great thing with the plastic is you just pull it off. It doesn't stick, well, it does stick a little bit, but it does peel away easy. The usual taking off the little, I call them sprues, but I don't know. And when it's plastic, it's a sprue, is the whole thing that holds all the parts together. All I've got to watch here is that I get the two parts the same way around. Not that I get a top and a bottom. I don't suppose you can it? Come on, physics guys, before I get round to putting them together. I don't think you can. I'm rambling again. Still not got rid of my cold, so the ramble is... Oh, you see these little dots? They're going to be holes later. And I've noticed that they're on both sides, so... Yeah, you can't get them the wrong way around. You end up doing that. So, they're going to be put together like that, very tight. And then I'm going to stick them. Listen, get my bit of plastic and I'll come back to you. A bit of plastic. Now I'm going to use thin cyano for this because it'll wick along the groove without even thinking about it. The thing I've said before about very thin cyano, it's like water when it comes out. You see it? I can take the excess off. And turn it over. And you see the joy of doing it in plastic. You can see the wick, it's wicked right all the way through. But I'm still going to leave that to set for a bit before I try to do anything with it. Let's get the plan up. So we've now finished with SDO5. Those two metal bits were the last bit to go on. Now we go on to number 6. So these were 147 left and right. You can tell the glue's not set yet. So what they do is they prop this up with 1.5 mil wood. So I'm going to get some 1.5 mil offcuts. Not a problem. And then we have pieces 148 left, right, and centre. And 149 left, right, and centre. So let me find those, and I'll come back to you when I found them. Managed to find them. They're quite big. So I want to how I can mark them as I take them off. I think the answer is to just take them off one at a time as I need them. Otherwise we could be 148 goes on the outside and 149 on the inside. This is stuck already. Look at that, and it's flat. So what I'll do is just just taking the excess glue off. That's going to be quite nice. That's smooth. Right, so then I need some 1.5 mil spacers. I'm being lazy. I'm using the electronic one. It's a lot easier. So all the supposedly 1.5 mil ply is actually about 1.67. I've got 2 sheets and they both come out the same. I'm just going to take this piece out of here, from there to there, and cut it up into little pieces, and we'll use that. See you in a second. Let's see if we can, I think I can take the plastic away now. Take 148 to the left. The reason I keep lifting it is to see where the joining things are. You know, the bits that hold it all together. Hold it up to the light, you can see through. Trouble you've got to watch when you put it back down that you get it flat on the table. Otherwise you end up with a wonky cut. And that's the last thing you want, is a wonky cut. Just like that, the outside part of this iframe is done. Give it a few seconds just to settle down and see it's not really stuck on the inside there. So now what we'll do is I'll put a bit more glue on it and get a clip. Doesn't have any metal, any plastic I mean. Just stick them on there like that. It's funny how all the others stuck. That one didn't want to. Okay, so the next bit is to do the inside. Now those of you who know will realise that these 3 little black dots are going to be 2 mil holes, which will eventually hold the lantern posts. So I should be very careful how I cut them. Okay, let's see if we can. It's all stuck to the bench now. Okay, let me free everything up, I'll come back to you. Right guys, that's had a bit of time to set. So you end up with a nice little iframe. Some of it still needs to be stuck. It's not stuck there. Very strange. It's amazing how you can put a 2mm hole in something and it will still leave a burr. I find that incredible. A little bit of time to set, and I've sanded it down. I also worked out from the various pictures that I have that the 1.5mm side, just to explain, this side's got 1.5mm, this side's got 1mm. The 1.5mm goes towards the ship. So I'm just going to paint one side for now, and we'll come back and paint the other side in a little while when this side's dry. The usual base colour, which will cover a lot of the work. Yeah, I can pick this up and do it because you can. I think you can still see what I'm doing. As we get into the corners, turn it this way. Well, we had thunder forecast for today, and I can just hear outside it is thundering. So, very strange weather for April and May. It's now May, of course. Normally it rains through April. I suppose we've had quite a bit of rain, so. This base coat is almost like a primer. It's really clever. Just fill in a whole load of little holes and right, I guess I'll take my hand off the thing there. And I'm just going to lay it down on this edge with it propped up. Let it sit for a few minutes. It doesn't take long to set this paint. It's really good. Seconds. The first side is virtually dry. It's not 100% dry, but it's getting it. You can see that I've got the brown thinned out, ready to put on here. It really does. You put it on and then you brush most of it away. It keeps it nice. Now I'm not going to bother too much about going into the centre because that's going to be painted with the famous dark red leather again. But I'll put some on because it's just going to drip all over the place. So. I say I'm not going to paint it and then I paint it. That's alright. Art is prerogative. I'm sticking to that. And you can see if you put it on and then brush it off again, you get left with a nice streaky finish, which is what you're looking for. Remember, it's going to be varnished afterwards, so leave myself something to hang on to down here. This bit I'm not too bothered about. It's the inside and the outside which are important on this bit. And by that I mean these curves on the inside and outside. these bits, and right into the corner, which is why I'm not too bothered about getting paint on the inside. Now, because this is nice and thin, it will dry very quickly. I sometimes feel with this paint, if you blow on it too hard, it will dry as you're putting it on. It sounds to me like somebody is mowing their grass, and it's, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's pouring rain. The rain's actually bucketing down on my shed here. Yeah, it definitely sounds like somebody's mowing their grass. You can see it's just about dry already. Amazing, huh? Now, my next question is, I suppose, do I put the varnish on before? Yeah. Let's see this on the side. Okay. Guys, I can assure you that's well, it's touch dry in places, but I'm going to leave it another 10-15 minutes because I really want it dry before I start putting varnish on it. So I'll come back to you in a few seconds. Well, one side is definitely dry, so I'll get this on and I'll probably call it a day at that. This is the oak stained varnish. And yes, I am going over the complete surface with it because I want the paint on top of this. And the paint has to be, obviously I have to be more careful with the paint when I come to do it. So just looking down through the pictorial instructions for the next phase and for the phase that I'm on now, to try and work out what it is they want you to do. And it tells me to paint the number 40 underneath where the cables are. What I hadn't seen was that they want you to secure the cables in with some glue first. So basically you're going to glue them in and then you're going to paint them. Well, we'll see. I don't think mine need to be painted, to tell you the truth. They don't need to be glued. They're going to be sitting there. But we'll see. If it needs it, I'll do it. I don't want to get too much varnish on this. So let's turn that up. I can do this bit. So again, reading between the lines, I couldn't work out at first which way around this had to go when it was put on the ship. And it's the deeper section has to go on the ship side, not on the outside. So that's okay. You can work that out. Trying to keep it off the paper so it doesn't stick to the paper, because this varnish will stick to just about everything. Gives a lovely rich colour, that's for sure. Try not to handle it too much because my fingers will stick to it. Handle it where I need to, and then just touch it up where I've been touching it. And right, I'll let that set. Guys, my usual little speech here. If you like what I'm doing and you want to continue following along, subscribe. When you subscribe, a little bell icon will come up beside the subscribe, and if you click on that, you'll be notified whenever any new videos are available on my channel, whether it be on Artesania Trinidad or any of the other things that I said I'm going to do. It'll be in the description of the file. Anyway, like, share it with your friends, pass it around. I don't mind. As I said, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.